Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we're going to talk about Cosby's favorite video game company.
Yeah.
Activision Blizzard. Blizzard Activision. Actiblizzard. Whatever you want to call them. And you know how their president stepped down a few months ago because of all the toxicity going on at Blizzard. Well, now one of the co-leaders, a woman, Jen Oneal, is stepping down just 3 months. 3 months into the job.
Okay, yeah, I saw this. To do what?
To be a bigger voice in the diversity and inclusion space, whatever that means.
But wouldn't it make more sense if you were there at Activision Blizzard that you'd have a more impact there than... I don't know this, but it sounds to me like somebody got gone. I could be wrong, but this is... When you read the article, it reads like she got grants for some women's group and women in gaming, and now she's going to better help run that and figure out where the money should go. So she got into a position of power, got this big grant out for women, and now she's just going to leave.
I think it's called Activision Blizzard is getting rid of her, but they're making it look really good. Like, oh, she's transitioning to, and we're going to make sure we give her some grant money and she's not going to come after us.
It just, to me, it seems like, because a lot of people do this stuff where they have these grants and these organizations they chair and they work on the side. But they also try to keep where they're at to keep that status so they can do more. You don't usually leave that to go work on this grant that you just got money for that, hasn't even been established yet. You'd want to stay there to establish this.
Yeah, it looks like 3 months into the job, things didn't work out very well, and now she's jumping ship.
Saving face.
Saving face. And the company's saving face, and they're setting her up with some grant money. That's what it
kind of feels like.
It feels like. We can't prove it, but, a company like this has a massive PR black eye. They don't want to draw any attention to themselves.
The other co-person that was running it, is it a guy?
Yes.
So wait, so she was the one woman that was supposed to be in there to do more, and they put her in there because we have to have a woman in there to save face. And now 3 months in, the woman's getting gone, and it's to be run by a guy again.
Yes.
Okay. But before we get into any further.
Before we get into this any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, rants, guys. Over 239,000 subs. Woo! Thank you for the support. Geeky is not leaving to go start some women's organization, leaving me in charge.
No. I'm just thinking, we see this before. The reason we're saying what we're saying, people are like, you don't know that. We don't. But we've seen this before. Disney had a female executive that when all the stuff went to shit, everybody kind of blamed her for it. And then suddenly, she was suddenly stepping down and moving on to other things that you never heard anything about.
We're going to send her to the butterfly farm.
Yeah, she's going to this other job that you never know what happened to. Now imagine you're Joe Rohde was another person that I was like, all of a sudden he's stepping down for no reason, right when Disney's trying to shift stuff, and then he ended up going someplace else. But at the time, he's off to pursue his own personal passions, and then a few months later, oh, by the way, I got hired someplace else. There wasn't personal passions. I feel like this seems very similar. I don't know, but it feels very similar to what we've seen before.
If she was jumping to another game company or something,
she'd be saying so.
Yeah, this is.
It's very nebulous. I had to ask you how many times we had to go dig to find out what she's actually supposedly doing.
Yeah. She's. I think she's been terminated. I think they're parting ways with her, but they're trying to put a positive spin on it.
But she probably gave ultimatums or something, and they said no.
Yeah, well, if you read her message, she sounds like the type of person that probably would give ultimatums, to be honest. So Blizzard, look, this company's in trouble. They're in trouble.
And if they're trying to damage control, having a woman in charge or having a woman but they didn't even let her be in charge. It was co. So I'm like, was this that she was actually in charge, or was she just like a figurehead to not actually be in charge? So they say, look, we put a woman in there, and now the woman's leaving.
Yeah, after 3 months. God. All right. So anyway, the president stepped down a couple of months ago. They put Jen Oneal and I think it's Mike Ibarra in charge as co-leads of this company, which is burning down. I mean, Blizzard is freaking burning down, right before our very eyes, and lots of other people leaving before the president left, and everybody's like, well, this is a step in the right direction. They've got Jen Oneal is going to come in, and we got a man and a woman.
And who was Jen Oneal?
So she came from Vicarious Visions. She was an 18-year veteran of the company.
Okay, so she's been there.
Yeah, she worked on Destiny 2. She worked on Tony Hawk's.
See, because where I'm sitting, it could be one of two things. Either she got up there and they were just using her as like a figurehead and she wasn't actually allowed to do anything, so she's leaving. Or it could be that, she got in there and was making demands.
Yeah.
And she was leaving.
Yeah. Now, she doesn't have much of a social media presence, but she did.
That's smart. I won't fault her on that.
Yeah. Now, she is a little bit older, too. She's been working in the industry for 8 so she's not a noob. She's just kind of but she kind of got thrown into this, I think. But why she's leaving is what's really interesting here. So this is coming from Eurogamer. They've got something on Bounding in the Comics, but Jen Oneal, who joined Blizzard as new co-leader in August, has announced she's stepping down from the role after 3 months. Will leave Activision at the end of the year to explore how I can do more to have games and diversity intersect.
That's where you get me. This is where I'm like, no, this feels like a you're being told to leave, because you don't leave the company. Somebody who leaves the company because they actually have better opportunities will say, I'm going to go and do this specifically, not how I could do more to have games and diversity intersect. No, this is like, I'm going to go do my passion projects until someone offers me a job.
How you can have more representation at Blizzard is to name your cowboy character after a porn star. Because it's not as problematic as having him named after somebody that paid a couple of visits to the Cosby Suite. Anyway, she worked on the Crash Bandicoot Insane trilogy with Vicarious Visions. It's interesting. They're like, we want to combat the frat boy work culture, so they brought her in. She lasted 3 months. Yeah,
which, if it is that they're getting her gone, that's going to do more damage to the image than a little bit. But anyway.
I am doing this not because I am without hope for Blizzard,
Sounds more like she's getting booted.
Quite the opposite. I'm inspired by the passion of everyone here working toward meaningful, lasting change with their whole hearts.
Oh, barf.
This energy has inspired me to step out and explore how I can do more to have games and diversity intersect.
You said she's older?
Yeah.
Don't cancel me.
And hopefully make a broader industry impact that will benefit Blizzard and other studios as well. While I'm not totally sure what form that will take, I'm excited to embark on a new journey to find out.
Okay, I'm quitting. I got put in charge, and I've been here 3 months, and I'm quitting. And I don't have a job to go to. I'm not sure how this is going to look or what I'm going to do, but I'm going to go make diversity in gaming. You don't have a job. You have nothing else you're jumping to. So either you got canned or you're quitting because you didn't have the power you thought you had.
But wait, it gets better. Ibarra is going to lead Blizzard. That's Mike. I think it's Ibarra. Effective immediately, Oneal will transition to a new position within Activision before leaving at the end of the year.
So she's not even staying in charge.
They moved her stapler.
Whoa. Okay, so let's rehash. Let's rehash. So she's like this big show. She's leaving effective immediately, and she's leaving to go, follow new pursuits, and she has nothing really lined up. But don't worry, she's going to another position that's not in charge.
But
until the end of the year,
it gets even better. She says she'll spend her remaining time at the company determining how to utilize a $1 million grant Activision has agreed to give to nonprofit organization Women in Games International, which cultivates and advances equality and diversity in the global games industry.
That's not a lot of money. $1 million isn't going to do much for that.
Not really.
Wait, you're going to stay on to determine how to utilize a really pitiful grant. So that's is that the reparation? They're giving a $1 million grant? Honestly, in the grand scheme of things, that's not going to do much.
For as much money as Blizzard makes, that's nothing.
So she's going to stay on to see where the reparations go.
Look, I don't know the inner workings. 3 months, that's usually how long you give an employee to see if they're going to work out or not work out. And it's a sinking ship.
It's weird. I'm going to say right now, and that's going to probably get me some shit, and I don't really care. There is an issue. I have seen girls play games. My sister plays games, and the shit she takes, she's recorded stuff and played it back to me, is ridiculous. Yeah, sometimes you get these squeakers that go on there and they, I'm going to F your mom, and you get a lot of these little punk ass kids that are on there trying to pretend like they're adults. And you get a lot of that. And that's a huge problem in gaming. But I've heard grown men, they were fine with her until she said something and they found out she's a woman. And then they start calling her names and harassing her and everything else. And they were fine with her on their team until they found out she was a girl because she could carry her own and it was fine. So this whole idea that doesn't happen is a load of shit. But that being said, $1 million grants crap, and they're doing this because they got busted with the Cosby Suite and all the male toxic workforce or whatever they had going on. And she's just leaving right now. $1 million, she's leaving 3 months. This sounds really, really, really fishy.
I think she's either. I think it could be
one of those two things.
I think it's not a good fit. That's how they're going to put it. It's not a good fit. It's obvious it's not a good fit, but to save face, they're letting her stay on through the end of the year doing something, and they're also going to kick over $1 million to this organization. But I think it's basically like, yeah, you're not working out.
Because she admits, I have nothing. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just going to stay on to figure out what to do with this grant money that I've got for women, and then I'm leaving.
And to get that and to get whatever, package they were offering her, she probably had to sign some papers. Hey, we're not going to disparage the company.
Well, that's just it. And the C-level position, that's usually what they do. And they also, they usually, unless it's something really egregious that they're demanding a firing for, they don't normally publicly fire someone. They give them a chance to say, I'm leaving on my own.
Always. Let's see if other people agree in the comments.
Are there comments? I didn't even read.
Yeah. What she actually means is she joined the company to do exactly that, but knows very quickly the company is indeed without hope, so she leaves. It was the total opposite. She would stay, possibly the most well-known developer in the world. No, I think it was not a good fit.
I think either they're getting rid of her or they're not giving her the power she thinks she should have.
I like this one. I was inspired to leave my job with no alternative lined up or even an idea of how I was going to continue making mortgage payments, said nobody ever.
See, it's not just me.
Yeah. I think she's being pushed out.
Who can blame her? That's true too. Do you want to be associated with, some of the things, I honestly think it's one of those two.
Yeah, I think it could be a combination of all the above. Like, okay, this isn't a good fit. Obviously, I can't do what I want to do here. Obviously, they're not happy with me. Obviously. And this company is burning down in real time. So
she could be choosing
take the
to
money
leave
and run
in that case, or it's a case of they're showing her the door. But either way, she has nothing lined up.
Yeah.
Usually, if you're leaving because you think something's terrible and bad, you find another job before you jump.
Yeah. To add a bit more to this, somebody says, I suspect she found out the co-part of her role wasn't in fact
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, Ibarra still had executive control, and she wasn't able to do what she joined the company to do. Probably she'd get vetoed at every turn, and, she's very interested in her diversity and inclusion initiatives, and, they're going to do what they have to do to save face publicly, but the reality is they're like, yeah, we can't just...
Well, he said that. Either that or she found out that improving PR was seen as more important than actually making change. Also very, very plausible with these companies.
Yeah,
all this is speculation, of course, but the general story of I'm not leaving because I couldn't do what I came to Blizzard to do. I'm just leaving to do something else makes no sense at all. Yeah, I agree. That's why I'm saying it's either she got fired because she wasn't going to fit, or she's leaving because she got in there and found out she wasn't actually a co-lead and wasn't, it wasn't going to be the change she thought it was going to be. Mm-hmm. But usually if you do that, you wait to have another job before you announce you're leaving.
She had a good run. She was there for 3 months. She was there for 3 months. Nobody.
And no one would blame her if she just said, Blizzard's a mess, I'm out of here. No one would blame her for that too. But usually if you do that, you have something else lined up and you're not going to stick around to the end of the year. That's what's weird. If she was going to leave because she legitimately thinks it's a shit show and she can't make change, right? Mm-hmm. She'd go find another job and now she's leaving when she jumps to another job. Or if she really was that up against it and thought it was that shit, she would leave right now, effectively, immediately. But she's not. She's staying to the end of the year at another position. That's why I'm thinking I'm leaning more towards she might have gotten, the boot. But I don't know.
Das Boot.
We all could speculate till the cows come home. We don't know, but it's weird either way.
Yeah, it's weird. Look, this is just another disaster for Blizzard. Like this guy, honestly, I don't even know what to tell them. Not that they're paying me to tell them anything. I don't give a shit what I think, but I don't even know how they would begin to fix this. Like, I don't
even know either.
I think what could potentially happen is Activision Blizzard goes up for sale. somebody buys them, takes the assets, the Warcraft and the Overwatch, and then does something else with it. I don't know.
What's really unfortunate is there are a lot of guys that work these places that didn't participate in bad behavior, whether it be Blizzard or other companies that get busted for this bad behavior thing. And then everybody gets painted with a broad brush.
Yep.
And then it's going to be hard for them, you know what I mean, later on too, when they a lot of them jumped ship or got out of there. But, you know, in these situations, men are getting blamed for it all the time. And yeah, it was guys that are behind it, but not every guy was involved in it. So I'm sure it doesn't help a lot of these guys working there either.
No, a lot of you know the old guard at Blizzard, they've left. I think they saw the writing on the wall.
I would just get out if it was me.
Yeah, anybody working for Blizzard at this point, get the hell out, because it's a dumpster fire, isn't it? I don't think there's any saving this company. I think it's going to wind up getting restructured at some point, sold off or something.
I honestly, at this point, they don't think they have a choice. I think that's about all they can do to salvage it, because I think the damage is, you know, far beyond anything that can be reversed.
Anyway, we're gonna wrap this up.
Yep.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We'll talk later.
Bye.
Hungry for a pudding pop all of a sudden.
I'm not.